Welcome to the Darkorbit Full Elite Guide. The goal is to teach you everything you need to know about becoming FE. In this video, I'll be talking about extras, special computer components that grants your ship various abilities and unlocks new tactics, from improving your ability to farm to improving your chances of survival. There are a lot of extras available, but only a limited amount of space on your ships. Proper selection of extras is important, and you will have access to almost all usable items through the extra section in your hotbar on the space map. We will start off with the most important extras that I find absolutely necessary, then work our way down the list. And you can only have one of each unique extra on a single configuration. For instance, you cannot have two cargo compressors to give yourself more cargo space. First up, we have the repair bots. It's incredibly necessary to have one, as it's the only way to regenerate your ship's HP without spending iridium, items, or using abilities. There are 4 models available, from the repair bot 1 to 4, with 4 being the best one, repairing your ship's HP in 90 seconds. There is a slight delay before you're able to start repairing your ship, and you cannot repair while in battle. It costs 20,000 iridium in the shop, but can be easily acquired for just 10,000 credits in the auction. If you can't get the repair bot 4 for a low enough price, go for the repair bot 3, which is also available in the auction. Next up, we have the slot CPU extenders from 1 to 4. Your ship has very little extra slots. Using this will increase it by up to 10 additional slots if you get the slot CPU 4. It costs an outstanding 250,000 iridium, but you can get it from the auction. It can be pricey to get, ranging from 50,000 to well over 1 million credits, but it's very worth it. Next, there's the cargo compressor. Your ship has a limited amount of cargo space. It doubles the amount of cargo space you can have, and definitely helps in farming more credits while in open space, plus when shipping ores from Skylab. It costs 10,000 iridium, but you can easily get this item from the auction for 10,000 credits. After that, go for the jump ship 1 or 2. The first one lets you jump from as far as your X4 map all the way back to X1. It costs only 150,000 credits in the shop and has 10 uses. After the 10th use, it'll disappear from your ship. The second one takes you from practically anywhere all the way back to your X1 map. However, it will not work in Blacklight or Pirate maps. It contains 20 uses and costs you 15,000 iridium. However, you can get it quite cheaply in the auction, depending on when you bid. For both of these chips, you cannot use them in battle. If you're fighting aliens, you have to be out of combat for 5 seconds before you can use it. If players, you have to wait 10 seconds, and you can only have one of these items equipped onto one configuration. Next up is the rocket turbo. This just doubles the rate of fire of your rockets. Early on, rockets are a big help in increasing your damage output, as you may find that your rockets deal about the same damage as your lasers, maybe a little less. Using a turbo will be able to increase your DPS significantly, although as you near FE, you may find it no longer useful, as your lasers cost more and more damage. It costs 10,000 iridium in the shop, but you can get it cheaply through the auction. Next is the auto rocket CPU. This is incredibly handy. Normally, you have to press the spacebar each time to fire off a rocket, but with this CPU, it will fire automatically with your laser. This can really save you from needing to remember to slam the spacebar to keep your damage up. Just remember to activate it in your extras menu. It costs 25,000 iridium in the shop, but once again, you can get it easily through the auction system. From there, the repair bot auto CPU. It automatically starts repairing your ship the moment it's possible, and you can completely forget about having to manually toggle the repair bot. It costs 10,000 iridium in the shop, but it's very easy to get in the auction. Those listed above are what I find to be the most essential extras you should have to improve your gameplay. Next, we'll move on to optional but very helpful and convenient extras. Up first is the advanced jump CPU. This CPU allows you to jump to practically every map from almost anywhere. It just won't work in the Blacklight and Pirate maps. The jumps use a jump credit, which you can get from login bonuses, booty boxes, or from various daily and event quests. The jumps use a jump credit, which you can get from login bonuses, booty boxes, or from various daily and event quests. It can save you a ton of time. Say you want to fly from your X1 map all the way up to X8. It can take a lot of time to fly through each portal, especially if you don't have all your speed generators. You jump by opening your space map, either by clicking the map icon or the advanced jump CPU in the extras tab. Clicking where you would like to go, then jump. There's a 10-second charge up time, during which you cannot move. If you are shot, it will be cancelled. If you want to manually cancel the jump, just change your configuration by hitting C or clicking the gear icon in your ship window. It costs 75,000 Iridium in the shop, but it's easy to get through the auction. Second, both the rocket and ammo buy assistant CPUs. Both automatically purchase ammo once they fall below a certain amount. When rocket ammo falls under 100, it will purchase 500. When laser ammo falls under 1000, it will buy 10,000. Both are capable of buying both credit and Iridium ammo available in the shop. I recommend setting the rocket ammo to the 2026 rockets and the laser ammo to the X1. You can set what you want the CPU to buy within the hangar. Click the CPU, Use, then select the ammo type. They both cost 15,000 Iridium each, but both are very easy to get from the auction. Next are the Cloaking CPUs. Both function in the exact same way, with the only difference being their capacity. The regular holds 10 cloaks, while the XL variant holds a massive 50 cloaks. Cloaking works as it sounds. You are made completely invisible on the space map. However, your icon will still show up to others on the radar. Experienced players will be able to spot players quickly, even with NPCs around them due to the different speeds and behavior of a player versus an NPC. You can still be targeted and you are susceptible to mines and effects. However, NPCs will never detect you until you are uncloaked, which can happen from EMPs or by shooting something. Both CPUs are quite expensive. The 10 count costs 5,000 Iridium in the shop, and the XL costs 22,500 Iridium. In the auction, the 10 count ranges from 5 to 20 million, while the XL ranges from 50 to 300 million. Next is the Insta-Shield. Upon activation, it consumes 10 ACM mines plus 100 Exinamit, and produces an invulnerable shield lasting 3 seconds. During that 3 seconds, you will not be damaged at all. It can be used in both PvP and PvE. There is a cooldown of 20 seconds before it can be used again. It costs 50,000 Iridium in the shop, but can be easy to get in the auction, although there are random time periods where prices rise. Next is the Rocket Launcher CPU. This extra automatically equips and fires your rocket launcher when you fire your lasers. It can be convenient, but a waste of ammo if you shoot very weak NPCs, as it will fire if you don't one-shot it. Just remember to activate it in the extras menu if you choose to use it. It costs 25,000 Iridium, but can be easily acquired through the auction. Next are the Mine Turbo CPUs. The first version reduces the cooldown on mines and similar items by 25%, and while the second reduces it by 50%. They reduce the cooldown on all mines, EMP burst ammo, smart bomb, and the Insta-Shield. The credit version costs 5 million credits, while the Iridium version costs 25,000 Iridium. In the auction, you can easily get the second one for far less than the credit version. And finally, the Drone Repair CPUs. They repair your drones when they reach a certain damage amount. It's good for those players who don't remember to keep an eye on their drone damage, which accumulates each time you're destroyed. The credit version repairs when drone damage reaches 70% and contains 8 charges, with one drone consuming 1 charge when activated. So if you have 8 drones, the CPU will be completely used when it gets activated. The Iridium version repairs them right before they're destroyed and contains 32 charges. In order for the device to function, they should be equipped on both configurations. Plus, you must have the credits, Iridium, or repair credits available to repair the drones in the first place. If you only have it on one configuration, but you die on the other, and your drones reach the limit where they would activate the CPU will not activate. Many players, including myself, suggest not using it, as there are times when you would lose your drones despite having the CPU and the resources to repair the drones. The credit version costs 150,000 credits, and the Iridium version costs 15,000 Iridium, but it can be cheaply obtained through the auction. And that covers up the optional but useful extras. Finally, we'll cover the ones that are not worth getting, or just are not worth getting until you reach FE. First up is the Automatic Fuel Assistant. This CPU automatically buys 10,000 units of pet fuel when the tank falls below 1,000 units. It's useful for pet owners that use their pet often and burn through fuel quickly, both from activating, deactivating the pet, as well as using various pet modules, all of which will be covered in the Pet 10 video. For a newer player, you do not burn through fuel fast enough to really make use of it, plus it costs 5,000 Iridium and you cannot get it through the auction. Next is Smart Bomb Creator. This CPU consumes 10 ACM mines plus 100x Xenomit, just like the InstaShield, and produces an instant bomb that damages any player within range by 20% of their hit points, so damage among different ships will vary. It will only damage other players, not you or aliens. It's strictly a PvP item, and it provides no aid in assisting you to reach FE. Next are the Targeting Guidance CPUs. The credit version reduces your chances of missing by 25%, and the Iridium version reduces that chance by 50%. Per shot, both CPUs consume 10 Xenomit, but with the introduction of the skill tree, the use of electro-optics make the CPU useless, since it raises your laser accuracy to over 100%. Then we have the Cloaking device. It's a single-use item, activating the moment you purchase it, regardless of whether you get it from the shop or auction. It's only useful if you have no Cloaking CPUs equipped and you need one immediately for whatever reason. It costs 500 Iridium, but can be won in the auction for 10,000 credits due to the sheer lack of players interested in it. Next are the Generator, Weapon, Laser, and Rocket CPUs. They automatically do the task of equipping ores onto your items on your ship. It will find the best ores you have available in your ship and apply them on its own. Do not use these. You won't have any control on how much is used, as they automatically apply all of it onto your items. This leads to you having far less resources to sell in order to make credits. Plus, it's far better to manually apply your ores. You can learn more about refining and upgrading in the ores and boosters video. Prices vary on each item. One is credits, rest are 10 to 15,000 Iridium, but they can all be won in the auction for 10,000 credits if you choose to use them. And finally, we have the Radar CPU. Don't even bother with this one. All it does is change the dots on your minimap to reflect any diplomacy status you have with the clans. You can learn more about clans in the clans video, but just for this CPU, it will mark the company players who are at war with you in red, neutral clans in yellow, and allies in green, all on the minimap. Same colors are automatically applied in the game screen, regardless of whether you have the CPU. If you purchase Premium, your ship is automatically integrated with the CPU. You won't need to use the Radar CPU in order to see its benefits, for as long as your Premium lasts. It costs 15,000 Iridium in the shop, but can be won for 10,000 credits in the auction. That wraps up everything you need to know about extras. Use these tips in your space exploration and get to full elite. If there are any topics inside Darkorbit that you would like me to get deep into, drop a comment below. Don't forget to drop a like and subscribe if I helped you out, and hit the bell icon so you know the moment the next video is available. And I bid thee farewell.